Okay. Okay, so our topic for today is beta factor. Okay. Beta factor. Okay, so beta factor is actually the systematic series, or let's say beta itself is the measure of systematic risk that faces security in the market. Okay. So each of the security, like shares, debt, bond, and the likes, actually has their own systematic risk. So the way we measure, or one of the tools we normally use to measure this that faces security in the market is what we refer to as beta factor. Okay. Although nobody will ask you what is beta factor in exam, it's just for modesty. So, and we call this guy either beta factor, or project specific cost of capital, or what we call adjusted WACC. Okay, so these are different names that these same topics will be referred to. Okay, so let's look at the situation whereby you need to, the purpose of learning this for the exam sake. Okay, the purpose of learning this beta factor, or reversed as project specific capital or adjusted WACC, is when one of the assumptions of calculating WACC is being violated, or when you are diversifying, like when you want to go into a new business, or you want to stop one line of your business. So what we're saying is this: the situation whereby we calculate this guy called adjusted WACC or beta factor or project specific cost of capital is when any of the assumptions for calculating WACC is being violated. Okay, so one of the assumptions of calculating WACC is that the business risk must be constant. Another one is that financial risk must be constant. Another assumption of calculating WACC is that individual cost of capital must be constant. Okay, so as usual, we try to make sure that this class is an active or interactive class, because the way exam is going is not actually everything that's going to be calculation. So examiners sometimes want to test your understanding of the topic, not just the calculation of it, because even though when you are done calculating, you will still be asked to interpret your results. Okay, so now I want to throw some points to the house. When I say business risk is constant, can anyone tell us his understanding of that, so that I will be sure that all of us are on the same page before we proceed? Anybody, please unmute yourself and feel free to you can contribute something. Hello.
Yeah, can you please say that again? What's the question?
When I say business risk is constant, what does that mean?
Hello, evening, sir. Hello, evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, now, sir. Well, when you said business risk is constant, it's because it's the risk that is associated with any kind of business in that place. Because no matter the specific business you are into, you are being exposed to that risk. So that is why it's been said to be constant.
Okay, you've tried, sir. So, but let me see what you just explained. What you just explained is that you just explained the meaning of business risk, not me saying that it's constant. When I say your business risk must be constant, what does that mean? If you own a company now, and I tell you that your business is constant, what does that mean? That's what I'm asking, not the meaning of business risk. But what you've said is actually the true definition of business risk. Do you get the point? What I'm asking now is that when I say business risk is constant, what does that mean?
Hello, sir.
Okay, so let me try.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Go ahead, ma.
Okay, so I think when they say a business risk is constant, it's more like saying that there is no change to the risks associated to a particular business. So that means no matter what you do, the risks still remain constant, like it doesn't change.
So I want to try as well.
Let me try, sir.
I think.
Okay, the floor is open.
Can I try? Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
What I understand about this is that I think when we're talking of business risk, to my own knowledge, I think it is just trying to refer to a systematic risk. These are risks that cannot be avoided. So the only thing we do is we can only hedge against them. That is the systematic risk of business. They are always constant. They cannot be avoided. They can only be hedged against. That is what I think.
To just buttress his point, they can also just be managed. Just be managed.
Yeah. Sir, what it means is that okay, what it means is that it cannot change. So that is why it cannot change. The likelihood, no matter how, it cannot change. So that is why we say it's constant.
Okay, so when I say business risk is constant, if us explain very well, but what I'm saying is this: let's get it right, so that this topic now you have the true picture of what you're actually doing here. Okay, when I say business risk is constant, it means whatever business risk you are facing now, it won't change. And what I'm saying is that your nature of business remains the same. If when we calculated your work, you are into two types of businesses, you have to maintain those two. You cannot stop one nor add another one to be three. Once you try to stop one or add another one, the business risk will change. Because what we're saying is this: if you are into agriculture and transportation before, we get your business risk, which is going to be incorporated in getting your work as a company. Okay, so when we calculate the work for those two businesses you are doing, the work will not be the same again when you try to stop one of them or when you try to add another line of business to them. So when I say business risk must be constant, it means your nature of business must remain the same. If you are into 5 different types of business, don't change any one of them. Maintain those 5. If you are into only one, don't change the business. Just be doing the one. Once you try to add one more, or you want to stop, when you are doing more than one before, you want to stop one line of business, you want to discontinue one out of this line of business, it will affect your business risk. And once it affects your business risk, it's going to affect your work, which means the current work in your current business will not be relevant again. It won't be appropriate again. You have to now calculate another work that will show the true picture of what you have on ground based on the businesses you are into right now. Are we on the same page? That's why they call it project specific cost of capital or adjusted work. Because once you try to adjust your line of business or your nature of business, it's going to affect the business risk, which means if you are into transportation and agriculture before, the risk you face doing those two won't be the same risk when you try to add oil and gas to it. Won't be the same risk when you try to stop one of the two in terms of business risk now. So that's why we say that when you violate any of the assumptions of work, you have to calculate what we call adjusted work. And one of the assumptions of work is that business risk must be constant. Are we on the same page? So for your business to be constant, it means you plan to maintain your current line of business or nature of business. If you are into one business, maintain that one business. If you are into 5, maintain the 5. Don't add or stop any or discontinue any of them. Do we understand what that means now?
Yes, sir.
So that's what we're saying. Once you discover that a company, and go and check any question, you will see that either you are into one business, you want to go into another one, or you are into more than one, you want to stop. That's why you end up calculating what we call adjusted work. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that one is clear. That's the first reason why we need to calculate adjusted work. Just hold on. Just go this one. We talk now. Okay, sorry for the distraction. Okay, so are we together?
Sir.
Okay, so I hope that is clear very well.
Yes.
When I say business risk is constant, it means you plan to maintain the same line of business. Yes, you are right to the definition of business risk. Is the risk is an unavoidable risk. The only way you can avoid that risk is that don't do that business. That's just the only way you can avoid it. If you don't want to face that risk, don't even go into that line of business. So you won't face that risk, which we call the risk, which is business risk. But as far as you are into it, you are going to face that risk. Okay. So it's just like you are into transportation now, accident is one of their major business risks. Okay. When you're into transport, be it no matter the means of transportation, accidents is one of their major business risks. Okay, so individual business actually have their own specific type of business risk. So the first one is when your business risk okay, so the second point is, we said financial risk must be constant. Based on my explanation of this business risk now, I think you'll be able to explain the financial risk aspect to us. When I say financial risk must be constant, what are we saying? Anybody? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So what financial risk to start with?
To me, I think financial risk is risk an investor takes when they commit their financial resources into a certain business.
I can barely hear you. Can you
said,
up volume?
Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
I said, to my own knowledge, financial risk is just when they commit their financial resources to a certain line of business.
Sorry, can you take that again? I think your network was breaking.
Risk is a kind of risk that an investor or takes when they commit their financial resources into a certain line of business.
Okay. You've tried any other person?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Okay, I think financial risk is just the risks that arise as an introduction of additional debt into the capital structure.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, now you are having only equity, then you are now bringing in debt into the capital structure. So the risks will now increase. So the providers of fund want like a guarantee for their fund. So that is the risk of it. Like maybe now you issue out debenture and
God bless you, sir. So that's financial risk. Now, yeah, maybe I'm saying financial risk must be constant. So what do we mean? What are we saying? What do we mean? What are we saying?
Okay, so when you say financial risk must be constant, it means that your capital structure should not change. If you want to focus on equity, then it should be equity. Then if you want to bring in debt, it shouldn't change. Maybe your debt to equity ratio, if it is 40%, if it is 30%, it should remain the same. I think that's what it means.
Okay, so that's when it's all. What we're saying is, when we say financial risk must be constant, for you to say your current work is still appropriate, okay, it means your capital structure, the amount of debt and equity you have in your business, probably you are doing debt to equity 60-40 or 50-50. If you are doing 50-50, equity 50, debt 50. So don't change it. Okay, even though you are still doing only one line of business now, your business is still the same, it's constant, but the financial risk too must be constant, because if you change it, it's going to affect your work, and that is very, very true, because if value of debt is maybe the percentage of debt is 60% in your capital structure when equity is 40. If you calculate the same work, when you now say debt should be 70 and equity is 30, you won't get the same result for work. So that's why we say, okay, once your financial risk changes, you have to recalculate the work to get the adjusted work. I hope that is clear. The same thing goes with cost of equity, cost of debt, and the other one, which is cost of preference shares. Okay, I think we are good by that. Now, if you are good by that, I think it's time we now look at types of beta. Can we proceed, or is there any question?
Sir, please proceed, sir. Please proceed.
Proceed, sir.
Okay. Type of beta factor. So as we have beta, we have alpha, but this is not the topic for today. When you get to SFM portfolio, you learn that. Okay, so type of beta factor, we have what we call beta asset or asset beta. So this one measures, this beta measures only business risk. Okay. Before I do the next one, let me write out the formula. So beta assets actually measures only business risk. So which means if I give you a company's data and I give you the company's beta asset, it means the beta asset only measures their business risk. So if I'm looking for business risk, I'm going to be looking for beta assets. Okay. So the formula for beta asset is equals to beta equity multiplied by value of equity over value of equity plus value of debt 1 minus t plus beta debt multiplied by value of debt 1 minus t.
Please, I can't see you. Can you scroll down, sir?
I will scroll down. No worries. Is it better now? Plus value of debt into 1 minus t. Okay, this beta assets. So we have what we call beta equity, or referred to as equity beta. So this one measures both business and financial risk. Okay. So the formula for this is beta equity. Okay, this is denoted as BE, while the beta asset is denoted as BA. So this is BE. We call it beta equity or equity beta. So it's equals to beta asset plus bracket of beta asset minus beta debt over value of debt 1 minus T into value of debt minus over value of equity. Okay, so this is this. Then we have another one we have is beta debt or debt beta. So this one is only financial risk. Financial risk. This one, there's no formula for it. Most of the time is always 0. Most of the time. So examiner is silent, your zoom is equals to 0. Are we on the same page?
So why is it equal to 0?
An assumption. Because once the debt is risk-free, so there is no risk with that kind of debt, just like government treasury bill and the likes. So we assume is 0. But if it's not 0, examiner will state the figure for you. So you don't need to calculate it actually. Okay. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So my question is now this. There is a way I will need to answer, and I want us to tell us the reason why it's like that. Once we get that question, what we are doing here, we have solution to 70% of whatever question they draw for us, to be sincere. So now let's assume I'm into agricultural business. So I want to go to transportation. So example now, we want to bring out something very important. I'm into agricultural business right now. Okay. So I want to go into transportation. Okay, which means currently I'm into agriculture, but I want to add another line of business that we call transportation. So can someone tell me something that is very constant or very static or very certain or sure that will happen to me? Like if I'm going to a transportation industry, what am I looking for there? I want to go to, okay, let me do it this way. There's something that everybody in agricultural business, there's a risk they actually face that even me too, when I go to that agricultural business, I'm going to face the risk. So can someone tell us the type of the risk we are referring to? Is it a business risk or a financial risk?
It is a business risk, the industry risk.
Business
It's
risk.
the risk that is associated with the industry.
Okay, so let's wait for other people. I think I need like maybe 5 people to tell me so that we can decide. We have one business risk, and she explained the reason why. Any other person? I need five people actually. I hope my question is clear enough. I said I'm into agricultural business. Now I want to go into transportation business. I'm now asking that what is that type of risk that everybody in transportation business will face, that even myself, once I go there, I'm going to face that risk. So I'm not saying, is it business risk or financial risk?
Business risk, sir.
Business risk.
Business risk.
Business risk. Business risk. Business risk. Okay.
They can face both business and financial risk.
Science too. Financial risk can also be associated with
Yes,
it.
they can face both.
Okay. So let me say this. Let me say this. I'm not saying you don't face financial risk. My question is that what is that general risk that everybody will face? Because the thing is this: the choice of financing, how you want to finance your business is based on the organizational choice, not a general thing. But business risk is a general thing. As far as you go into that business line of business, you are gonna face the business risk, facing that business or that industry. You can't run away from it. But if you like, you can use only equity to finance your business. You can use 70% equity, 30% debt. You can do it if nobody decide what to use for you when it comes to financing it. Are we on the same page? But the business risk, there is nothing you can do to it. So when I'm going to any industry, please let's get this now. When I'm going to any industry, what really concerns me is their business risk. Is there what?
Business risk.
What concerns me is their business risk. The financial risk is my own wahala because I'm the one to decide on how I want to finance it. I'm the one to say, okay, I want to use so amount of equity, so amount of debt. But when it comes to the business risk, it's beyond my power as a company. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Please, are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the foundation of this topic. Once you get this right now, you get what we're saying now. So if that is clear, now you see this transaction business, we call it, because that's where I want to go to. This business, examiner can now tell you that there is a company Z, okay? There's a company Z doing this business. If that is the case, this company Z is what we call proxy company. So any company that is already into the new line of business you plan to do is what we call the proxy company. Is that clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we hope so. So this is clear. Now let's now look at the steps, the 5 steps of beta factor. Now this will normally give students headache, but if this explanation here is clear about what we're looking for in transaction business, which is the business risk, I don't think we have any issue here. 5 steps of solving beta factor problems. Are we together? Step 1, you will identify the proxy company. So what's the proxy company, anybody?
The company that is already in the line of business.
Okay.
So the company that is already into that line of business you plan to go, like to venture into or to have your own business.
Exactly.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it's beta, capital structure, that's gearing, capital structure, and the number of business. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So if I may ask this question now, why do you need a proxy company, and what are you even looking for from the proxy company?
We need a proxy company because we want to identify the business risk, and then so that we can use it in our work to determine our own kind of adjusted work too.
Please, can everybody hear that?
Yes, sir.
So that takes us back to the example we look at the other time, that I'm into agricultural business. I want to go into transportation. What do I need? Which type of risk do I need? Is the business risk. That's what concerns me. And when it comes to business risk, what does that mean in terms of beta? That is better assets. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
What I'm looking for in this business, in the proxy company, is the business, because if I want to go into that same business, I'm going to be facing the same business risk they are facing. Although the way you manage the business risk is now dependent on each company. But the fact is that you're going to face that same business risk. Okay, so if I'm going to face that, I need to get that business risk of that line of business so that I can incorporate it to my own work calculation to have my appropriate work that will show the true color of the risk we're actually facing based on the new line of business we have in the company. Okay, so the first thing is we identify the proxy company, because you are not doing the business, you need the proxy company. So the proxy company is the one doing that business. So what are you looking for in the proxy company? You're actually looking for their better assets. But I don't want to say better assets yet, because you guys actually have 5 steps, which I'm going to explain later. But we all know that we are looking for business risk in the proxy company. And if that is said or is okay by you, it means when I say business risk, I'm referring to better assets, because better asset is the one that measures only business risk, while better equity measures both business and financial risk, and better debt measures only financial risk. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now once I have this information, since I'm looking for better assets, so the next step is what you call, either you say DJ, sometimes we will tell you DJ, while some will say on J.
Okay.
Better equity. Now, before we go forward, or before we move forward, what is a GL company and what is an on-GL company?
A geared company is a company that has this capital structure mixed up with both equity and debt financing.
That's a GL company, right?
Yes, sir. While on gear is the only equity. A company that has the capital structure with only equity financing.
Okay, so you're very correct, man. A GL company is a company that when you check their capital structure, there is equity and debt in it. It means the way they finance their business, there is both equity and debt. So we say that type of company is a GL company. And it means for that type of company, there is business risk and there is financial risk. Why are they financial? Is there financial risk? Because there is debt in the business, in their capital structure. So when you see debt in the capital structure of a company, apart from the business risk they will be facing because they are into that line of business, there is now what we call financial risk. Are we on the same page? No matter the level of debt, even if it is just 2%, 10%, 20%, there is financial risk. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
So, based on the explanation that a GL company is debt and equity, debt and equity as a capital structure, and better equity is the better factor that shows both business risk and financial risk. So, when you check the company, the proxy company, what you have there is better equity. Okay, but what you are looking for is actually better assets. You can't work with better equity. You need to ungear that better equity so that you can get better assets that deal with only business risk. Is this clear before I move ahead?
Please, can you repeat?
Please repeat the on.
Step 1 is clear,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Step 2 is, let me tell you what will lead to step 2. We said in step 1, you should get the proxy company. Yes, I've seen the proxy company, company Z, Institute of International Business. Then I've checked their beta. Their beta, examiner say their beta is better equity. Before you agree with the examiner that better equity is truly better equity, you rush to their capital structure to see how they finance the business. Once you see debt in their capital structure, it means truly the better equity is better equity. And better equity is the one with business and financial risk. Why is it business and financial risk? Because you are into that line of business, yes, you are facing business risk. The financial risk because there is debt in your capital structure. If that is the case, I can't work with that data, that better equity, because I'm not looking for both business and financial risk in the new line of business. I'm only concerned with the business risk. So my duty is now to take that better equity that is with both business and financial risk to ungear. Ungearing means you are removing the financial risk in the better equity so that you can only have business risk. And when you say you are looking for business risk, what is the better that deal with business risk? That is better assets. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We get it now.
So you say ungear or degear better equity of the proxy company using proxy company's data. So that is remove the financial risk. So for me to remove financial risk, I need to calculate what we call better assets. Because this one will only show me business risk. Are we on the same page? So business risk, which is better equity multiplied by value of equity over value of equity plus value of debt, 1 minus t, plus beta debt multiplied by value of debt, 1 minus t, over value of equity plus value of debt, 1 minus t. Are you on the same page? Are we on the same page, Joe?
Yes.
I mean, I don't tire. Maybe stop the class.
No, we are not tired, sir. We're trying to figure out something. Yeah, excuse me, sir. So
Okay,
can we now say that this beta asset or the beta of assets only reflect business risk?
Yes, ma.
Can only be used to
explained
calculate.
that earlier on. Let me take you back to the place. Under types of beta.
Okay. So
See it
if the company is purely equity finance, that is when it's suitable to use it. It doesn't take care of anything debt financing.
Yes.
Okay, so I understand it now. Thank you.
Don't forget this. What's brought about this topic is that you want to.
When the company want to diversify into different business.
When you want to do that, it's going to affect your business risk. As far as it's going to affect your business risk, you need to do what we call adjusted work. Okay. You know your work that you do equity, value of equity, cost of equity, value of record of debt, then you do the average, you get your work. That's work. But those value now and the cost, there are now reasons why they might change, probably based on the financing or the line of business. Because let me tell you what's going on. Even though you want to use only equity to do business, if you tell me you want to go into oil and gas, the return that we request is not the same thing when you want to go into cryptocurrency. Because the risk in those two businesses, the business risk are not the same. So you shouldn't expect me to request for the same level of return as an equity holder. Okay?
It's okay, sir.
So better asset measures business risk. That's all. Better asset, business risk. Better equity measures both business
and
financial risk. But why people normally mix it up is that they look at it that when you say an all-equity finance company, no debt. So some do think that better equity should go with all-equity finance. No.
All equity finance goes with better assets.
Look at it from here now. Look at it from here now. When you say assets, or let me say when you say net asset, let's say net asset, it's like you've catered for all your liabilities. Are we on the same page? So that's how they arrive at the name better asset.
Okay.
Are we on the same page?
Yes,
but
sir.
When they say equity, you will be thinking it's only shareholders fund. No, it's just a concept thing. It's not shareholders fund here. It's talking about when there is business risk and financial risk. Okay, so that is clear enough. Step one, you get the closing company with their data. Step two now, if the better equity is the one given, that is the one with debt and equity, you ungear or you degear, which means you try to remove the financial risk from the better equity. And once you remove financial risk from the better equity, it means whatever you have now is what we call better asset, which only shows business risk. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we're good.
Sir, right on. We dey feel you, right on.
So now, what brought about step 3 is this, because later we tell you that it's not necessary you follow these 5 steps. It depends on what you have on ground and what you are looking for. But let's complete the 5 steps first so that you can understand what's going on. Step 3 means we want to now regear. Now, you have the business risk, you have the better assets of the new business. Now, what we now bring about step 3 is that how do you want to finance it? Do you also plan to have some level of debt to this new line of business when you want to finance it? If yes is the case, you now need to calculate what we call better equity now of your own new company based on how you want to finance it. Like, I want to go into transaction business, yeah. Even though I want to use 50% debt to finance it, I must first go and get my business risk of that industry before I will now add my own financial risk to it, which is 50% of debt. So you getting the business risk is this step 2 now, if it's not given in the question. If you don't have better asset, examiner will give better equity of the closing company. If you have better equity of the closing company, you ungear to get better assets. So once you have better asset now, if you to plan to use debt to finance this business, you will now do step 3. Step 3 means regear better asset using your company's data. What are you trying to do here? It means you are adding your company's financial risk. Now, someone will now ask that, since you know you are going to be adding it to it, why are you now doing step 2 and you are still doing step 3? Maybe you say step 2 because there is financial risk, you want to remove it. Now you are now adding it. Why you are adding it is this, let me tell you why. And why you are removing it. You've checked the proxy company, their own capital structure is 50-50. Equity 50, debt 50. But the way your own capital structure now, your own company now, the way you want to finance it, it could be 70-30. You can see they are not the same thing. So you need to ungear the better equity to get better assets before you can now add your own financial risk to it. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is that what if you don't even want to use debt at all? It's only equity. So you need to go and ungear it for that step 2. Okay? But as far as you're going to be using debt to finance it, you now need to do what we call step 3. Are we good?
Excuse me, sir. So if you are going to finance it purely on equity, you don't need to do step 3. That's my understanding.
Yes, ma'am. I don't want to say that now, so that as if I'm using a lot of things, I'm doing a lot of things together.
It's
So
okay,
once we
sir.
complete the 5 steps, I will tell you scenarios and the step to jump.
Okay, sir.
And your understanding will be, if once you understand, I guess we should be on the same page. You want to have the understanding of this concept. So I said earlier that it doesn't mean you have to do the 5 steps. It depends on what you have on ground and what you're looking for actually. So now, yes, sir.
This particular, all this one you are doing, what topic is it under? I just want to know.
Cost of capital.
Are you just joining us, sir?
No, I'm not joining, but I know we have been calculating work. I just want to know the topic, which it is.
You are just joining us, sir. Can somebody tell him, please?
It's still work, but this one is the adjusted or project specific work.
Under cost of capital, right?
Yes, when you are diversifying, when you are going to a different line of business, you can't use the work you've been using. You have to adjust it to suit the industry you are going into. That's when you do this, take these steps.
All right, thanks. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, so step 3, we want to reject the beta asset using our company's data. So it means we want to add your company's financial risk. Okay, so what we're doing is, for you to have financial risk, it means it will now show both business and financial risk, but using your own financial risk now. So it means we are calculating beta equity, which is beta asset plus beta asset minus beta debt into beta value of debt 1 minus t over value of equity. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Step 3 is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, step 4 now is now for us to now calculate the new cost of equity based on this new line of business. Okay. So cost of equity. So we calculate cost of equity using beta let me just say beta in either step 2 or step 3 in CAPM formula. Okay. So what is CAPM again? Cost of equity. KE is equals to, somebody should help me.
K is equal to risk-free rate plus the beta of equity into the market returns minus the risk-free rate.
So now, you said beta of equity. It now depends. If you are
Okay,
using
can either be beta of asset or beta of equity.
If there is no debt, it's beta asset. Do you not get it now?
Yes, sir.
That's how we say either in step 2 or 3. So, or you have KE is equals to risk-free plus beta equity into RF minus RF, that is with debt, or KE is equals to risk-free plus beta asset into RF minus RF. This is without debt. Then step 5.
Understood, sir.
Please, can you explain this step 4? I didn't get it.
Can you increase your volume number? We can't hear you very well.
Okay, so I say, can you please explain this number 4 again? I didn't get you.
Which of them?
This step 4.
And once you have your better equity or better asset, depending on the case, you will now go and calculate cost of equity using CAPM. So the section for beta, you now put the beta that you've calculated in it. So if it is that the one that you are doing with debt, that is step 3 beta, which is beta equity, you put that there. If it's the one without debt financing, if you are going to stop at step 2, so you use the beta asset in step 2. Is it clear now?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
So step 5, what's step 5? You now calculate your adjusted WACC. You use the KE in step 4 to calculate your
We can't hear you again, no.
So we are not hearing you.
The network is really bad today.
Maybe network have knocked him out.
Most likely. Maybe he's trying to log in again. So
okay, sorry, there was network glitch from my end. So let me try and share my screen again.
I will come and beat you myself. I've said I'm in the class, leave me alone.
Please mute, oh, please mute.
Sorry about that, please.
Okay, can Oluwayemisi make me the host so that I can share my screen? Hello.
Hi.
Miss Oluwayemisi, can you make me the host back so that I can share my screen? I can't share the screen. The network logged me out, so I just logged in again.
Sorry, please, what did you say?
Can you make me the host, please, ma?
Host?
Yeah, I guess the app actually made you the host when I logged out. When I was
Really?
logged out, actually.
Wow. Okay. So how am I supposed to do that?
Go to settings.
Settings.
Yeah, I think you can see the option there, or you go to participants, then
Participant, right?
yes, either participants or settings, then you make, once you see my name, you can make me the host. Okay, I think that's done. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, so what's this? Okay. Trying to show my screen. Okay, so you have equity here, in no particular order. We have debt. So equity, the cost of equity, that's your step 4 results. You bring it here. The value of equity, you put it here. Cost of debt, you put it here. Value of debt, you put it here. Then multiply them together, you get the results. You get your total. So you do your total over VO times 100. So this is your adjusted work. So any question before we look at a question properly? So I was
Sorry,
trying
please,
to
I have a question. No, I have a question. What if we have like probably 2 other proxy companies? Are we also supposed to use the same step, or is there anything that is going to be a difference?
You have more than one proxy company.
Yes.
Normally, whatever data you want to use from them, be it better asset or better equity, you take the average as far as they are all in the same business. But the thing is this: if it is better assets, no matter the number of proxy company are going to have, you have the same result because all of them say they will face the same business risk. So what could differ is actually their better equity because the way each person will finance their business, that of debt and equity may not be the same. But as far as they are all in the same business, no matter their number, the better asset will be the same because that's the business risk. Okay, so another thing that we are going to add, okay, I don't know, I think I should add this, is when this step is actually just for one line of business. When you have more than one line of business, how you go about that? So it's just small adjustment before you come back to this step. Okay. So let's look at that.
Sir, please go back to step 5.
Sorry?
Please scroll down back to step 5.
So we have what we call multi-product.
So we're not seeing what you are writing. Scroll down.
Sir, this your step 5, eh? Me, I'm lost too.
It's the normal step of calculating your work now. That is work calculation. I'm never seeing the step 5.
I think it's network. Let him reshare to the screen.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what's wrong with this LTE. Before now it was MTN. I don't know. Okay, let us manage it. Let me see. Okay, can you see my screen now? So we have two companies. We have company A and B. Company A rather. So company A is into 2 line of business, is into car and bikes. Okay. Are we there?
Yeah, there's some.
Okay, so examiner will tell you that the beta equity of the company, examiner will give something like this. Examiner will give you beta equity for cars. Now, the thing is this. When you have this examiner will give you the beta equity of one of the 2 products, and examiner will also give you the percentage invested in each of the 2 businesses. Okay, so look at what's happened. We have the beta of the company, we have the percentage invested in bikes business, which is 40%. So if I invested 40% in bike, how many percent will I invest in car? That's 60, right?
60%. Yeah.
50%.
Okay, then examiner will give you better equity of the company, of the car business rather. But the funniest part is that here an examiner will now ask you, like maybe you want to go into car bike business. So bike business. Now there is no better for bike. So it's your duty to calculate the better equity or asset depending on the case, based on what examiner gives you for the whole company. Okay. So you now say, okay, if that is the case, better, this is the formula, better equity of the whole company is equals to better equity of car business multiplied by percentage invested in car plus better equity of bike business multiplied by percentage invested in bike. Even when you have more than 2 products, you do the same thing. You do a third block.
Very
Are we
tired,
together? So this is the formula. From this formula now, you can now bring out whatever variable you are looking for, because now at the end of the day, you are going to have one variable unknown, which is going to be better equity of the one you are looking, you maybe say you want to go and do. So you follow this formula, you get your better equity. Then before you can now go back to that 5 steps. At the same page.
Yes, sir.
Can you help me scroll to the step 5, please?
I will share the material later. So the first step, identify the closing company with better capital structure, number of business. Step 2, on J or the better equity of the closing company. That is, if the closing company is J and you are given the better equity, you on J to get better assets. If it's not J, you just work with that. So step 2, this for doing step 2, let me say this. This for doing step 2 is because when you check the closing company, the better you have, there is better equity, which means there is debt in their capital structure. But if you are giving better assets, which means there is no debt, you don't even need to do step 2. End of doing step 2 to get better assets. But when you check the closing company and you already have better assets, there's no point of doing step 2 again. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Then step 3 is when you have better assets, which is either you are given or you do it from step 2, and you plan to reject the better asset, at least you plan to have your own debt. You want to use debt and not get finance business. That's why you will do step 3. If not, step 3 is not required. The step 4. Step 4 is a must. That's where you calculate the cost of equity to factor in the new of the new business. So that depends. If it is another equity business that you want to do, better in the formula of the CAPM will be better equity, better asset, which is the only business risk. Why, if it is a jet company, the better will be better equity before you now take that result to your work team.
Sorry to drag you back. Sorry. Please, can you go back to that step 3? On what instance are we to ignore the step 3?
When the company is solely equity financed.
Okay, just equity finance, no debt.
When you want to use equity to finance the new business.
Okay. Good.
They say that you are going to do step 1, step 4, say. Yes. There's a point where you are going to do step 1, step 4. For example, now,
if the better asset that is given in the question.
Yeah. And you don't want to use debt. So just do step 1, step 4. Okay, then. There won't be step 5 because you want to use only equity. It means only equity to finance your business. It means no
The
debt.
cost of
If there's no
equity
debt,
will equal to the
what will you
cost
be
of
doing in work
work.
table? In that case, your cost of equity will be your cost of capital, which is your work. You know, if your company is a non-equity finance company, their work is cost of equity. If you are aware.
Yes.
Okay, let's ask for a question. Oh, okay. Go and sleep. Okay.
Then 214, question 1.
Okay.
14, question 1. Has that similar structure.
Okay, I don't think I have that. But if you have it, you can share on the platform. I'm looking for let me see. Checking some materials here. Yeah, come on. Can okay, I think let me share this on the platform. Oh, I guess I shared the wrong one. Okay. Let me check. That was a note of my previous class notes. Not the question itself. Okay. So see one here. Okay, I think the question is on the platform now. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will do A, B. Oh, okay. I will do A, B. Then maybe we can do C and the second question. Second question is 2 products herself. Okay. So who will read for us from the requirement?
An all-equity finance firm is about to embark.
From requirements, sir.
Okay, requirements. He said, what would be the suitable discount rate for the investment if it was financed in each of the following independent ways? A, entirely by equity. B, by 30% debt and 70% equity.
Okay. Then the last one, the C part.
I'm not seeing the C part, or maybe you should scroll up.
By 40% debt and 60% equity. I see.
Okay. let's look at the question from the beginning. It said, an all-equity finance firm is about to embark upon a major diversification in the consumer electronics industry. So, an all-equity finance firm, okay? Its current equity beta is 1.2. This for our company. Why the average beta for electronics firm is 1.6. Average equity beta, according to them, 1.6. Now, before I go too far, what's our equity beta?
That's the business.
From the 1.2 or 1.6.
The company that is going to embark on the diversification equity beta is 1.2.
Okay.
And
so
the
that's our, you will see it as if that's your company, in example, that's your own company. Okay.
Yeah.
Our company's equity beta is 1.2. But look at the definition look at what this examiner mentioned from the beginning. The examiner said all equity finance firm, that's our company, isn't it?
Yes.
Is about to embark upon a major diversification in the consumer electronics industry. Its current equity beta is 1.2. That equity beta is not equity beta. This is beta asset because our company is an all equity finance company. Are you on the same page?
Yeah.
Why the average equity beta for electronic firm is 1.6. So the average equity beta for electronic firm is 1.6. Before you can agree that this equity beta, we need to check the gearing. So the gearing in electronic industry average 30% debt and 70% equity. Because of this statement, now we can agree that the 1.6 equity beta is actually equity beta and not beta asset. Are you on the same page for proxy company?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you one person's voice, so no alarm.
We are with you, sir. We are with you, sir.
Debt is risk-free. When corporate debt is risk-free, what is the first formula for cost of debt then? Anybody? If I tell you that corporate debt is risk-free, what is the formula for cost of debt?
Zero.
Not debt beta now. Cost of debt. Okay, let me explain this. If I tell you that, government treasury bill is also a risk-free debt, Abi?
Yes, sir.
So are you saying that the cost of that source debt is zero? Are you saying government will not pay you interest on the money you are giving them?
They will pay, but it's a tax. Let me say it's tax-free. There's no tax implication.
Okay, so if I say corporate debt is risk-free, you can go back to your total cost of capital. When debt is risk-free, the cost of debt is risk-free net of tax. Risk-free rate, net of tax, that's the cost of debt. Are we together? Okay. So market return is 25%, risk-free rate is 10%, and corporate tax is 35%. Now let me say this now. The tax rate of your company cannot be the same with the tax rate of the proxy company. So please always look out for that. But in this case, they are both the same. Are you together?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now come the question. What would be the suitable discount rate for the investment if it was financed in each of the following ways independently. I will do A and B, then you can do C and number 2 as classwork or assignment. Okay, so if I'm to finance this business with only equity, so what will happen? The first thing, I will go to the industry. Step 1, I will get the data, the number of business, okay, and the capital structure of the project company. Step 2, we have better equity of the project company, and we've confirmed that the company is actually there. Then you enjoy the better equity to get better assets. Once get better assets now, instead of regening in step 3, we won't do that because you were told that what?
Then all equity.
That you want to use only equity to finance it. So you now go to step 4. From step 2, you move to step 4. You get your cost of equity, which will be your WAP. That's all.
Okay.
But in B, after you have undid the better equity of the project company, you still have to reject back using your company's data, which is 30/70. Before you now take it to step 4 to get cost of equity, then you do step 5, you get your WAP. Exactly. So let's do that now. So the first scenario is that if we have to finance this thing entirely by what? By equity. So A, so it says step 1, identify project company capital structure and number of business and better. So project company is electronic industry. Capital structure is it 30/70 or something?
Yeah, it's 30/70, sir.
Debt is 30, right?
Yes, sir. Equity is 70.
That's capital structure. Number of business, only one business, okay. Step 2, and better equity. That is, remove financial risk using project company's data. Okay, so on there means you want to calculate better asset of the electronics industry. Formula actually remains the same. So we have VE times VE. We have VE plus VD 1 minus T M plus PD times VD 1 minus T plus VE plus VD 1 minus T. Okay. So what's BE from the proxy company?
It's a 1.6.
1.6 times all of equity. That's
70.
Plus 70 plus
70 plus 30.
1 minus 0.35.
0.35.
Just want to confirm that. 0.34, you're right. So no better debt. All other side will come 0 because there's no better debt to the question. So we're assuming 0. What do we have?
The debt, the value of the debt is, the better of debt is risk-free. That one is 0.
Better debt is 0. It is the cost of debt that is risk-free net of tax.
Okay, but the better, why is the better of debt 0?
We are not told anything about it, so we are assuming 0.
Is it an assumption?
Yes. And most of the time it's going to be 0.
Okay.
Please,
But
the
if it
tax
is
rate
given,
given to us
but
is
if it is
35.
given in the question, we cannot use it. So if it was not given in the question, we assume that it's 0. Okay, I want to understand.
Yes, ma, you're on the trap.
Okay.
Please, the tax rate given in the question was 35%.
It's
Before
35, Abby.
tax. Yes, sir, but you wrote 0.3.
So I thought I wrote 35. Yeah, so what's the
0.35.
Eh? What do you have, ma?
0.35.
No, that's the tax rate. Everything after doing the workings. What do you have?
1.48. 1.25.
Let's confirm figures.
$1.25.
1.25.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got 2.8.
Check the way you are doing it. The problem is always from that tax. This thing. What you do, you minus the 1 minus 3, 0.35 first, which is 0.60. You now multiply it by 30 before you add it to 70. But that is always the problem there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, why did you skip step 3? Hello, sir.
Because it is entirely financed by equity, so there's no need to regear.
There's no debt. There's no debt to remove. There's no financial risk to remove because it's equity, all equity finance.
Who to add back?
Okay, thank you.
There is no financial risk to be added for our new company. So that's why we are skipping step 3 and we are going to step 4. We've already removed the financial risk in step 2. Financial risk of the proxy company, we've removed it to have only our business risk, of which is the better asset of company to pay. Now, you are told not to use debt, so you skip step 3 and you go to step 4. Whatever you have in step 4 is your step 5 because your work is your probability. If there is no other source of from equity. Are you on the same page? What's our cost of equity?
$28.75.
Is it what, man?
28.75.
8.75%.
This is our adjusted around the same page. So I think people can do B and C now.
Let us try.
Oh, I need to do B again.
I want to calculate in step 5 too.
Sorry?
There's not
Okay.
there's not debt.
The B part is simple because there will be no need doing all those steps again because from that step 2, you can now apply it straight.
So let's practice step 2 and step requirement 2 and 3. I think I'm going to play here now. So let me share this material. If I got any question.
Please, about requirements B. Are we doing the same as requirements A? B and C.
As we do B?
I mean, are we to do it the same way we did A?
Yes, now. If you follow what you have, let's do B together.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Finance by 30% debt and 70% equity.
We already have our businesses.
I think there's no need calculating it because since this gearing is the same as the company, it will still give us 1.6. So it's the best is just apply 1.6 in the CAPM formula to get the cost of equity.
Yes, ma'am. Give us the same thing. What is for people that want to study, people that are not here, that are not on this call. So step 1, identify proxy company and its data. Step 2, J beta factor, beta equity, beta equity of the proxy company. So we have beta assets is equals to beta equity times value of equity over value of equity plus value of debt 1 minus t. This one is plus 0 here. Beta equity is 1.6 times 20 over 20 plus 30 1 So we have the same thing, 1.25 KABIRU Okay. So still we reject beta asset using the companies. So we have beta equity is equals to beta asset plus beta asset minus beta debt times value of debt and value of equity minus t. So what's our beta asset? 1.25 plus 1.25 minus 0 times 30 into 1 minus 0 1 minus 0
0.35
times 35 over
70.
70. So this should give us 1.65. That's the
Hello, sir.
better. Then now we now go to step 4.
Please, sir.
Sorry?
Hello.
Yes.
1.6, not 1.6.
Hello. Please, how are we calculating for step 3 under requirement B? I don't understand anymore.
I didn't get that.
Why do we calculate step 3 for the requirement B?
Because you want to use debt too.
Oh.
I'm on the same page. You want to use debt to finance your business. So you have to calculate step 3.
I
So
don't
when
understand
exactly
it.
are we
I
to
thought
calculate step 3?
Sorry?
When are we expected to calculate that step 3?
Step 3, when
It's kind of
you plan to
confusing at
use
this point now.
when you plan to use debt to finance your business, you have to calculate step 3. So you can add your own financial risk.
So the summation for step 3 is 1.60 approximately.
1.60.
Yes, sir. I have
So what do you on there
1.598.
before? Is it 1.60 or 1.65?
I have 1.598.
hello, sir.
My problem is
Hello.
the one we on there is 1. 1.65. I'll be 1.6.
1.6.
1.6.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sorry. Let me change this. I thought it was 1.65.
Thank you.
That was the question, Abi.
Okay.
1.3 because it's 1.598. So approximately 1.6.
Yes. So this one is 25%.
25 minus 10.
25 minus
10%.
So what do we have?
0.34, which is 34%. That's the cost of equity.
34%. Okay, so the next step now, step 5. Now do adjust it back. Step 5. Adjust it.
So what about the cost of debt? We're not going to calculate it.
Yes, you calculate it when we need it in the table.
Yes, okay. So
I say you should calculate your work, do your source of finance, cost, market value.
total.
We have equity and we have debt. Equity 30 or 34%.
Yes, sir. And the market value is 70.
Then the debt is 30. This 100. So okay. Cost of debt.
Excuse me, sir. In the debt, I thought you were supposed to do 30 into 1 minus tax.
For which one?
For the debt. You wrote only
So
30.
if you have value like this, that's the value. You're just saying that value must be when you net tax.
Okay, just that in the format you gave us, you wrote 30 and value of debt, open bracket 1 minus T.
No, it's not value, it's cost of debt too.
So please, can you scroll up a little bit?
It's cost that is net of tax. Value is not net of tax.
All right.
Please, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yes, I will come back to that place. So KD is what from here?
The risk-free rate is 10%, so that's the cost of debt, but it must be pre-tax, post-tax.
So 10% into 1 minus 0.3. This is 1.5, right?
Is 0.065, which is 6.5%.
Let me multiply this by our market value. %4 of 70. What do you have?
25.75.
25. What about 6.5% of 70?
Of 30, not
of 30 years. What do we have?
Oh, shit, oh, there's a problem.
How did you get
It's
25.75?
no, the
6.5% of 30. What do you have?
excuse me, there's a mix
This is
up
not
there.
correct
It-
though.
what I'm saying is the overall is my last answer. Sorry, sir.
Where?
What I'm doing, the 25% is my work. I'm sorry.
It's supposed to be 23.8.
Yeah. Plus this other one, 6. So plus 0
1.95.
1.95.
yeah.
What do you have for total?
25.75.
5.75.
One piece. Just a mark now. So this is the end of requirement B. So I hope you can try C on your own. As a core requirement.
So please, true though.
Let me drop the material.
Please, students.
Yo.
I'm dropping the material now.
Alright.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please stop. I want to check how we got this 34% and 6.5% above from our calculation.
You do your cost of debt net of tax. This period of tax. Exactly now. Exactly.
So I didn't hear you, sir. Please come again.
Okay, sir. So I said you will do your the cost of debt is risk, so you do this free net of tax. Exactly now.
I still don't get you, sir, but
No, in the question it said that the cost of debt is the risk-free. It's risk-free.
okay.
So the risk-free rate is 10%. But we now have to remove the cash element from that.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
So see you next time.
Sir, please
Thank
share
you
the
very
notes.
much.
Sir,
We're
please
really
share
grateful.
sir, please share us the material before you go. This one you solved.
So the person, sir.
Sir?
I just dropped out of the class.
Okay, sir. All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We're really grateful. God bless you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.